All right. While waiting or working for change, things to do and pitfalls to avoid in Eritrea. Eritrea. With translations in Tigray and Arabic. This is by this person right here. Bereket Habti Salasi. Okay, we don't have a table of contents. Wait a minute. Oh, yes, we do. We do. Yeah, there you go. That's the table of contents. So the first one is in English. The second one is in Tigray, and the third is in Arabic. Okay, that wasn't very helpful. All right, we'll just pick up random. Okay, look at this. I will deal with this. Look at this. What? Oh, Eritrea. That's the country. I get it now. I understand what's going on. So there's the dictatorship, I think, in Eritrea, and it's like North Korea. Okay, because let me explain. This is what it kind of triggered my memory. Distinguished professor of African Studies and professor of law, the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, presented at the workshop on Eritrea held in Pretoria in 2014. Okay, great. Okay, yeah. Oh, I've watched the news thing about this. Uh, all right. The prevailing conditions and its elements. It has been trite to observe that 20 years after its liberation from Ethiopian occupation, Eritrea finds itself at a critical juncture, standing perilously poised between survival and state collapse. The Lampedusa tragedy represents a historic moment that compels all of us to face the bitter truth. The truth is that Eritrea's youth, the guarantor of the nation's future, is in danger of losing hope for the future. And a nation without a hopeful youth has no future. Eritrea's government, which has begun with a promise to bring about democracy, prosperity, and the rule of law, has become instead the cause of the endless conflict and the consequent suffering and despair of its people. The government of Isaias Afwerki and his party, People's Front for Democracy and Justice, have brought, or the PFDJ, have brought to the people neither justice or democracy. Indeed, they have broken a solemn promise and squandered scarce resources and golden opportunities by being engaged in dangerous politics and pursuing ruinous policies. In adopting what they call a national service, which is actual fact is forcible servitude, that they have pinned down a whole generation of Eritrean youth in the wilderness, wasting their lives. Whoa. And depriving their aging parents the support and succor they need in their golden years. It was after escaping the unending servitude that the youth drowned at Lampedusa. Others had also previously drowned in the Mediterranean Sea though in smaller numbers. Let me summarize the grim reality that has been the lot of Eritreans as dramatized by the Lampedusa tragedy. I guess Lampedusa. I'm not very aware of any of this. I mean, this is what's so great about having a library, man. I thought this was some other kind of book, but then little by little, I'm learning. Oh, Eritrea, the country in Africa that's just the dictatorship that's just like North Korea, right? Maybe you knew this, maybe you didn't know that, but now you do, right? Did you know all this is going on? Well, yeah, you don't know what's going on yet. The Lampedusa tragedy, I knew nothing about it, but it's interesting. I gotta do some research on it. There's a continued violation of basic human rights guaranteed under the 1997 ratified Constitution as well as under all rules and norms of international law. The country is ruled by executive directives issuing out of the office of an unelected president. Such directives are not subject to any review and override all notions of the rule of law. The governing party has virtual monopoly of all business through its mammoth economic apparatus, the Red Sea Corporation and its several affiliates. The militarization of society has resulted in a brutalized captive population. Every person between the ages of 18 to 50 for males and between 18 and 40 for females is subject to military service that has no time limit. So basically, you're just going to die in the military. As a result of these conditions, there has been social and economic dislocation, including the disruption of educational and career opportunities of an entire generation of Eritreans. Above all, the promise of democratic transition to a constitutional government has been denied in favor of one party, one rule, or one man rule. All this is in violation of the resolutions of the two Congresses of the ruling party and the provisions of the 1997 Constitution. This violation is the cause of the crisis in Eritrea. Very interesting. I would like to. Well, it's not even very long, because it's 33 pages, right? Because the rest of it's in different languages. So it's 33 pages of what's going on in a country that's more or less like North Korea, which is very interesting. If you like world history, then boom.